Okay, everyone should have this worksheet out. We are doing, it's Math 2, Unit 9, Worksheet 6C. Guys, we're doing homework notes again since this is review from the last 2 days. I do need you listening. What have I been telling you over and over? When most kids are stuck on the test or quiz, it's because they forgot what?
GCF.
GCF first. Now, not every problem has a GCF, but you still have to look for it just in case it does. So remember that, GCF first. If it doesn't have a GCF, then look for the other factoring methods. Okay, first one. Does this have a GCF? Yes or no? No, 3 can go into 9 and 24, but can it go into 16? No, it looks like 4 can go into 24 and 16, but can it go into 9? No, nor can 2. Okay, so do you guys all agree there's no GCF?
No.
All right, so is this a difference of 2 squares or a trinomial? There's 3 terms. Difference of 2 squares or trinomial? Okay, so that's where we list the factors of 9 and the factors of what? 16. Factors of 9 and factors of 16. Do I ever list the factors of the middle number? No. And I'm going to give you guys a little shortcut right now that will help as long as you remember it. Is everybody ready? Ready for the shortcut? Okay. This doesn't always work. But I've found for myself over the years, it works most of the time and it works enough of the time that my very first guess is going to be this. If my first term and my last term are both perfect squares, do you guys agree that 9 is a perfect squared and 16 is a perfect square?
Yes.
If that ever happens, that's the first thing I look for. Are they perfect squares? And if they are, that's typically going to be my first guess. Now, is it always going to work? No, but it works enough times where that's my first guess and then I'm hoping for the best. So let's double bubble. I can use 1 and 9 or 3 and 3. Which one did I say I was going to use first? 3G and 3G. 16, 1, 2, 8. Actually, since those are the same, it doesn't matter. 1, 16, 2, 8, or 4, 4. Which one should I use first? 4, 4. Look at the last sign. Is it positive or negative? What does that mean? The same or different? And how do I find out if they're both positive or both? Look at the neighbor. And what does it tell me? All right, so you guys go ahead and do this and check and see if it equals the middle term. Did it work? Yes? Don't forget, you do have to show your check work. Okay, so this is the answer. If you wanted to, could you write it as 3G minus 4 quantity squared? Is that the same thing? I don't care. I like it this way, but if you wrote it this way, I would still accept it. On a test, multiple choice, should you know they are the same thing? All right. I'm going to have you try number 2 on your own. Is number 2, first, does it have a GCF? No. So go ahead and factor. Hello, Mrs. Torres. Okay. Bye-bye. Is this the shortcut one where you can do the adding one? Because the leading term, the leading coefficient is 1? Isaac, can you tell me what you got?
For what?
For number 2. You were supposed to do it on your own, and you were talking, so I thought you were done.
You should get 1 and then x plus 1 and x plus 7.
Yes.
Or x plus 7.
It doesn't matter, because they both have a coefficient of 1. Okay, so I heard t plus 1 and t plus 7, or t plus 7, t plus 1. Does it matter? No, let's check the inside. 1t And 7t, does that add up to the middle term? All right. Don't forget, if you don't have your check work, you're not going to receive credit. Okay. Next one. What's the first thing we should always look for? Greatest common factor. What is my greatest common factor? There is one. Let's see, 9, 65, 14. No number goes into all three, but what does? B. Thank you. Sometimes it's just a variable and not a number. These are like the ones we did earlier. I'm going to flip it really quick. It's like these here where we did a GCF of X and then did the trinomial double bubble. Same thing. What's left over after I take out a B? 9. B to what power? Second plus 65 what? B to what power? First, because 1 plus 1 is 2, plus what? 14b or just the 14? Just the 14. All right, cover the B. What are you going to now do here? The double bubble? Yes. All right, what do I list my factors of? Factors of 9 and factors of 14. 9, 1, 3, 3. This is 1, 14, 2, and 7. So I'm going to put, I know I have to write really small, B, and then my double bubble. Now, can I use the perfect square trick on this problem? No, why not? The 14 is not a perfect square. So guys, all the ones you've had previously have been fairly easy numbers. They will get a little harder today because look at all the different combinations you can use. You can use the 9-1 with the 1-14 or flip it 14-1. You can use the 9-1 with the 2-7 or flip it 7-2. You can use 3-3 with 1-14 or 3-3 with 2-7. Do you agree there's a lot of possible checks to do? Yes, but that's why we practice with all the easy ones first because I'm hoping by now you kind of can gauge. I'm trying to get 65. That's kind of a big number. See what you can do. I'll let you guys try it. Has anybody made any guesses at what to multiply to get 65? I heard somebody say a 7. 7 times what? What is 7 times 9? 63. Fairly close. So with that, could that be a first guess you make? So am I going to use the 9-1 or the 3-3? If I'm trying to multiply 9 and 7. So 9b and 1b. My last sign is positive, which means they are the same. The neighbor tells me what? Okay. Now we said we wanted to multiply the 7 with the 9. So should I choose the 114 or the 27? And if I'm trying to multiply the 7 with the 9, should I put it 27 or 72? 27? Will that allow me to multiply the 9 and the 7? Okay, go ahead and check it and see if it works. Did it work? Okay, so let's see. 2b and what is it? What did you guys say outside? 60 what? 63. And 63 plus 2b, 63b plus 2b is that the middle term? Don't forget the b that's sitting out front, and I am boxing in the wrong part. It is here. Yes.
Can we cover 7?
Number 7?
Yeah.
I'm going to do number 7 and stop there. Okay, do not forget. Actually, there's one more I want to do. Do not forget. What do we do first? From now on, what do we look for first? Greatest common factor. there will not always be one. For example, look at 4. Does 4 have a greatest common factor? No, then you go straight to double bubble trinomial factoring. Does number 7, which is the one that was requested, does number 7 have a greatest common factor?
Yeah.
Yes. It's not a number because this number here is a 1, but it's a variable. What variable is coming out? Just an x. Because the smallest exponent there is 1. Does that make sense? Is that a yes? Okay. Anybody tell me? Actually, Jason, can you tell me what's left after I factor out the x? X times what is x to the third?
Squared.
Keep going. Plus 16x.
X squared.
Just x, right? Because I already have an x out here. X and x will make the x squared.
Yeah.
Okay, plus what?
64.
Okay. And then I'm going to cover that guy. I list the factors of 1, which is just 1 and 1, and the factors of 64. Is this the one where you can use the shortcut with what adds up to the middle? Because the leading coefficient is 1. Anyone have the number already, or should I list them all out? Is it 8 and 8? Plus plus or minus minus? And does that work? 8x? 8x, and does that add up to the middle 16x? All right, so we're happy. And because they are exactly the same, if you wanted to, could you write it like that? Yes? All right, I'm going to stop with number 8. Nope, not number 8. Number 5. I'm going to stop with number 5. Are we ready? Okay. Nope, it's not number 5 that I wanted to do. I apologize. 12. 12 is the other one that I wanted to do. And there's a reason, because kids always get stuck on this one. What is there a GCF? Does anything go into 4, 24, and 16?
No, but G does.
G does, and the 4. So 4 and G. Does everyone agree 4G is the GCF? Okay, 4G times what would give me 4G cubed?
G, just on alone.
Just, not just G, but G to what power? There's a 1 here. There should be a 2, because 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 4G times what is 24G squared?
16.
6G is 4 times 6, 24, and G times G, G squared. Plus 4G times what is 16G? 4. 4G or just a 4? Just the 4. All right. Now here's why people mess up. I'm going to cover this guy.
I think I already see what I did to myself.
What are my factors? What's my first number? 1 and 1. That's nice. What's my last number? My factors. 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. Plus plus or minus minus, and they are the same. Do you guys see that when I'm doing my first factor, last factor, I do not look at the original equation, original function, because I took out a GCF? Kids often say, oh, 4 and 16. No, it's 1 and 4 because I took out the GCF. Does that make sense? All right, do any of those numbers work?
No.
If I put 1 and 4, what is that going to give me when I do inside outside? 5. Is 5 what I'm trying to get? I'm not trying to get the 24, I'm trying to get the 6. Okay, so instead of 4 and 4, what can I try? 2 and 2, that's my only other option. What does that give me when I add those up? 4, is that what I'm trying to get in the middle? No. What does that mean about what's on the inside? Not that it's wrong, it's not. You're right, this is the only thing I can get. Is the inside factorable?
No.
Is this, just this right here is not factorable? I did factor to GCF, so that part was factorable, and after that, it was done. That's as much as I can do. It doesn't happen often, and I think that this might be the only one on this worksheet, if I remember correctly. It doesn't happen often, but are there instances where GCF is all you can do?
Yeah.
Yes. That's that one there. Okay, I'm gonna have you continue working.